Hi Flosstube, this is Tony the Flightless Stitcher. I'm also known as Tones_71, that's TONEZ_71 on Instagram if you'd like to follow me on there. I'd like to say welcome to all my returning subscribers and hello to anybody new that's out there. Hope you give me a chance. I'm in New Zealand, hence the flightless part. Yeah, anyway, it's been a hot minute since I was here. I think about 3-4 months, probably about 4 months. Work's been pretty manic, and the house has been busy, and you know, all the things that happen to everybody. Not only did we get COVID, but we got long COVID. So it's been pretty exhausting, pretty busy, pretty all the things. Yeah, so this one is going to be a catch-up one because of the whole COVID debacle. There's been a lot of stitching. I'm not going to show you everything I've stitched. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to show you everything in my haul, just the bits that I'm excited about, because otherwise we'd be here until next week. Yeah, and if I was to show you all my whips, all the bits and bobs that I've done, again, we'd be here till next week. It would be a whip parade, not a catch up. So yeah, going forward, I'm actually hoping to do these probably every 2 to 3 weeks from now on. When I first started doing this, I thought I was only going to do it monthly, but back then I only had 3 or 4 whips on the go, maybe 5. Maybe 6, I don't know, I'd have to go back and have a look. I know I didn't have that many, and I didn't tend to rotate them too much. I tended to stick with what I was stitching, whereas all you enablers out there, I now have 28 on the go, and more coming. I'm actually starting to feel a little overwhelmed with them some days, but that's not a big deal. I'm actually enjoying myself. I'm having a lot of fun, spending way too much money. Way too much money. But that's okay. What's it for? Can't take it with you. So yeah, I think that with that, it does actually mean that I could probably warrant doing every 2 to 3 weeks. One of the reasons that it's taken me so long to get back is because I've done so much while we've been at home, not being able to do much, not being able to go anywhere. It's also the middle of winter here because it's New Zealand. So, and it's been a very, very wet, stormy winter, so don't be surprised if it starts to bucket down suddenly in the middle of this. And we're in the middle of a re-roof, so I've got no guttering, so the entire house looks like Niagara Falls when that happens. There's quite a depression here this weekend, so we are fluctuating between wild, stormy winds, torrential rain, and then absolutely nothing. No wind, no rain, nothing. And sun will come out and then it'll all vanish and go the opposite direction again. We've got flooding, we've got all the things. Australia's getting hit a lot worse than what we are, but we're still getting hit pretty bad. It's what it is. Good excuse to stay inside and cook. I do that too. Stitch. I may have to cut this off and finish it off and do a tag on because I'm expecting a builder in about an hour, so hopefully we don't take that long to get through. But yeah, there is a lot that I have done. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know where to start, to be honest with you. So I guess I'll start with my diary. As anybody that has watched any of my previous Flosstubes will know, I am a member of the Black Needle Society and get their boxes every 2 months, plus I tend to buy whatever I can with the retreat boxes that come out as well. And this is how I run my diary. Where am I at? We'll do the June one because I caught up on that the other day. So when you open her up to June, you get a lovely little page, a little quotey thing on it. Then I open her up, I read a lot and do a lot of other things. So I tend to put on this page, I tend to do my starts, my finishes, what I've been reading, anything interesting that's happened, just because it's turning into a bit of a keepsake. So then the following page is the stitching journal page. That's the number of stitches for a day. That's the breakdown of it. Now, last month was the Black Needle Society's online retreat for summer hollow for the Gilmore Girls retreat. So I stitched a lot more than I normally do, and there was a lot of twink involved because their start time of 9 o'clock in the morning was my start time of 2 o'clock in the morning. So I was very, very, very tired. and on the second or third day, before I figured out I needed to sleep as well, there was a lot of twink involved. But yeah, so from there I have a work in progress page, which that gives me what I worked on that month, number of stitches that were attached to it for that project, any starts or finishes, and I try to put the total at the top of the page for the number of stitches that I've done for the whole month. There's a new purchase page as well. I don't fill that out. I filled it out for the first couple of months, scared the crap out of myself, refused to do it again. If my husband saw that, we'd probably be divorced. Mind you, in saying that, he buys really expensive toys, so he can't judge. And from there I go to the weekly breakdown of what I stitch, how many stitches I put in. I try to print off some photos of what I've been up to. It's a little sneak peek of some of the stuff that you're going to see. That's what Stars Hollow looked like. It was everywhere. Hope you can see this. Yeah, and yeah, also with the Black Needle Society, that was just a roundup of the month. Not all the book pages, months have that page at the end of the month, but I didn't know what to put in there, so I just put some whoops in there where I got to. The other thing with the Black Needle Society is they put out some cards, 52 cards, and they represent a challenge for each week. I think I've talked about this before, but anyway, we'll treat it like it's all new start. And each week we I draw a card, and then I stitch on something that works with that prompt. Like on where am I up to? Where am I up to? I've gotten a little bit behind. I got focused on a couple of things and got a little bit behind. So yeah, I just finished one last night, which was for 3 weeks ago, and it was the BNS stitch on a piece with a heart, and I stitched on my Warm My Heart piece. And so I make a note of that, if you can see that down the bottom there, and try to attach some photos as well as I go along. Normally, what is normal anyway? Normally I would would print out a picture of the actual one that I did for that week with the card, but I got so far behind. I got about 6 weeks behind because I was focusing on too many other things and the COVID, and I just ran out of energy and was just stitching on what made me happy at that point. And there's no harm in that either. So yeah, we're into July. God, where's this year gone? So yeah, that's where I'm at with July. Because today is Saturday. It is Saturday. Yeah, Saturday the 9th of July. Just in case you're curious. So hopefully this should be up and running on Flosstube by the end of today. So yeah, that's what my project planner looks like. Plus, I started a new book too a couple of months ago. I saw this on Victoria, on Knit and Knot by the Sea. She started this, and it was such a good idea. Because although I've been listing everything in my diary, and I've got other diaries that also list what I've done over the years and where I start and where I finish, there's no concise place that I've been keeping anything. So I've started doing this. I may have shown it last time as well. And what I'm putting on it is my start date. When I finish it, I'll write that in. What I've stitched on it, how many stitches are in it. I add any information, I think you can see that, regarding the fabric and where I got it from, the count, that sort of stuff, so that I can actually go back and know what I've been up to. and what I'm doing and when I started it and when I finished it, and there's a little bit of a history. So yeah, and I'm doing like little updates for the ones that are like SALs or annuals. So yeah, there is a little bit more that I am doing to it, but I'll show you that shortly because I have a couple of fully finished projects as well. I'm only doing it from the beginning of this year onwards though, so the stuff that I did prior to that, because I'm not 100% sure on where I started some of these, so it's a going forward thing, and we live, we learn, we roll, we do what we do. So yeah, fully finished. I'm going to start with the fully finished, then I'm going to go to the finished, then I'm going to go to the whips, then I'm going to go to the new starts, and then I'm going to go to the haul. I have to have a plan this time because otherwise it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess anyway. You should see this place. Honestly, there's stuff everywhere. I can't believe how much I have done over the last 3-4 months. It's actually kind of daunting. And yet fun. Anyway, okay. First fully finished project was the cryptids SAL. Now I've had this one framed and she is on the wall in the bathroom. Okay, so I stitched this. Try and get away from that ring light. There we go. I stitched this on 28 count Envy by Colour Cascade fabrics, and she's come up absolutely beautiful. I'm so happy with her. She looks stunning. As per usual, you just don't get the full effect of anything, and seeing stuff in person is always so much better, isn't it? I mean, like, you look at stuff and yeah, that's cool, and then you see it in live and you're like, oh. Oh. So yeah, that was my cryptids one, so that's fully finished. I should actually, before I go to my favorite fully finished, I'll do my couple of small finishes. So as a lot of people are doing, or were doing, well, I think the hashtag's still going, but most people have stopped doing the little stitch up. But I got in touch with Darcy Cameron, Stitchman Darcy, and I got his Chris It Up pattern, so I put it onto a bookmark, and I stitched it using, I can't remember what she called, I think it was Beetlejuice by the Stitchy Ferret variegated floss. Absolutely stunning floss. Hopefully I don't regret using that because I have it earmarked for a future project, and I'm hoping I haven't used up enough to make it a problem later on. But I can always get some more. Well, I'll hit her up with some more anyway. So yeah, so I got that one finished. I'm just going to chuck stuff on the floor because this is going to be ridiculous. And then I finished this one. When you do the Stars Hollow or any of the Black Needle Society retreats, you have prompts for the stitching challenges, and one of them was stitch on something with a popsicle. I ain't got nothing with a popsicle. I'm not even a popsicle fan. It's frozen water on a stick. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with that, so I went on the internet and went to hunting. Now, you don't have to do the prompts. You can take penalty points from, because every 25 stitches gives you a point. If you stitch on something that's not related at all, then it's 50 stitches to a point. Or you can stitch on the retreat pattern that is released in the box. I elected not to do the retreat pattern. I hadn't started the first year's one, hadn't really seen it going, and wasn't sure if it was something that I really wanted to stitch. I am going to stitch it now that I have seen it, but I'm going to stitch it as a banner. It's actually pretty cool because they've done autumn, which I didn't attend because I wasn't a member last year, and now they've just done summer, and they've got the summer and the autumn ones side by side, but there's like a gazebo, and one half's in summer and one half's in autumn, so it's going to work like a seasonal diorama going across. It's actually going to be pretty cool, so I am going to stitch it, but I haven't got the fabric yet and I haven't started. I'll get it up and running and hopefully progressed before we hit the next one next year, which I think is going to be spring. But yeah, anyway, so back to the popsicle thing. So I had to stitch something with a popsicle. So I grabbed a scrap, I think it might be a 28 count. Again, it's colour cascade, but it, there's 3 of them. I've only done one, and I'm actually going to take the stitches out, the writing out, and just leave it. I'm going to do them all on this piece of fabric. They're Marvel critters in popsicle form. So I did the Hulk. They've also, they've got Captain America, and I can't remember what the other one is. I honestly can't remember. I'll put up a picture if I, oh, actually, my handy dandy book. There might be a picture. There might be a picture. There might not be a picture. Here we go. Yeah, Captain America, oh, and Iron Man. I don't know if you can see those little guys. There we go. They're so cute. It's not really my cup of tea, but I'm going to start a smalls journal, which we'll go through shortly. And so I'm going to do them all up, and I'll put them into the smalls journal because they're adorable. I managed to stitch the whole thing except 2 stitches, and it was a colour change to do the 2 stitches in the hour. So they were that quick to stitch up, but I'm going to take the words out, and I'm just going to leave them as popsicles, I think. So yeah, now to my final fully finished object. This is handy dandy book. It's a lot of backwards and forwards in a handy dandy book. I might have to put post-its in it so I can flip. So yeah, learning curve. Everything's a learning curve. So this one is Even Nora by Nora Corbett, and I stitched it on a 32 count Belfast on antique white. She had some water lilies, sable specialties threads, and 3 different blackish coloured beads. And I've got her fully finished, and she is just the best thing I have stitched in a very, very long time. I am so happy with her. She just looks absolutely stunning. Again, this is just not going to do it justice. The frame is amazing. I've got the best framer in the world. She cost me a fortune, but who cares? Again, can't take it with you. All my kids have left home. I've got grandbabies now, and I spoil them rotten, but it does mean that I can spoil me too. So yeah, she hangs in my hallway now. So yeah, so that's 2 finishes, 2 fully finishes, on to up. And I'll show you what I do with the book. Excuse me, I am a little bit ADD, a little bit scatterbrained. And like I said, going into this, one of the reasons I was ready to do this a couple of months ago, but I was so overwhelmed by how much I have done that I didn't know where to start. So I'm a little scattery with doing this one, and hopefully it'll come right. It shouldn't be this bad next time round. I promise I will get better. So yeah, this is what I'm actually doing with my book. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. So like I've attached like the pictures when it was finished, when it was fully finished, the actual picture from the internet where you see when you purchase, a little bit of the thread, then that's the cut off of the corner of the fabric, and I've attached the colour of the beads as well that I've used and what numbers they were, just again so that in the future I can reference back and see what I did, see what I used. If anybody asks a question, I can actually go to one's place and find it, because I will be passing on that pattern. I don't need it anymore, I've done it. So that is my thought process behind what I'm doing with the book, and I can actually bring it up and have a look, and I can tell people, because in 30 years time I might not remember who Nora Corbett is. I might not remember who I am. But yeah, anyway, and so that's that part. So we're going to go on to whips now. Yeah. Hope you've got a drink, because you're going to need it. Okay, I'm not taking a couple of these out of their hoops, because I'm actually in the process of still stitching with them. So, and I've just got them to that point. I don't want to move them. You know how it is. Life's really busy. We've got to do what's right for us. So my first whip is my 25/7, which I finally caught up with again. It got behind a little bit. I've finally got caught up with it again this week and trucking along very nicely with it. If you don't remember what she looks like, that's her. Pop that down. These are going on the floor. There's going to be a lot of me bobbing up and down. So this is where I've gotten to. I have moved the hoop twice since. I'm actually going to pop a little picture insert of her face because I have finally fully finished her face and it came up absolutely astounding. And I took a photo before I started stitching again when I moved the hoop, so that's the photo that I'm going to insert up there. You've probably seen it already now, hopefully. But yeah, there's sparklies in her dress. I don't know if we, yep, there we go. I think you just caught those sparklies. She is just looking amazing. So we're at 65% on that now and tracking along very, very nicely. I'm going to do these as fast as I can because otherwise we're going to be here all day. And like I said, I've got this builder coming. He's doing some renovations. I've got a 1965, the house is, I'm doing it again, sidetracking myself. Anyway, this house was 1965 original, hence the bookshelves all over the place. You can see by they upgraded the light shades about the 80s, I think. Looking at the red stripe and the big stick from the ceiling. It's a work in progress for us. We're getting a new roof put on very shortly. While we're doing it, because we've got raking ceilings through here, we can't put any new electrics in it. This wall behind me is all going to go. It's going to be a big open plan living area very shortly, within the next couple of years. Planning permissions, all that sort of thing. But we've got a 1965 original built-in wall unit that was a cocktail cabinet. Very cool, but very dark wood. Very 1965. We've got a beautiful drinks trolley and never really seen the point in a cocktail cabinet because you have to keep opening and shutting them. It drives me crazy. I'd rather just pick it up off a trolley. So what we've actually decided to do with it is we're going to turn it into our TV cabinet. And I've got a builder coming around today to knock out the fold down cocktail cabinet part and pop it in. Again, I'll pop up a picture of the before and then hopefully I can show you the after later on. We're going to get it painted white because it's dark wood, all that sort of stuff, but the TV is going to pop into it so that when they do the re-roof, when this section of the roof comes off, the electrician's running through, we've got security going in, we've got lights going in, we've got, because there's sections of this, my dining area only has wall sconces, there's no actual light above the dining table, there's no light above the seating area in the lounge. There's a wall sconce behind us. There's a couple of lights in the lounge, but they're far away. And the light switch for the lounge is by the front door. So when you go to bed at night, you're walking way across the lounge in the dark to get through. So we've got a light switch going in for there, and we're putting power points into the wall unit so that we can run the TV from there. So yeah, he's coming around to do that today. Hence the distracting myself part. Okay, right. Another one that I worked on was my Mystic alphabet, which last time you saw it, I was halfway through the I. I was hoping to have this finished this year by April. No, not even close. I managed to get the I finished. I got the J. Oops. Hang on, let's see if you can see that properly. Got the J done, little jackalope, and now I'm working on the Kraken for K. That is where I got. Oops, that's on the wrong pile. So scoop that over here and pop that over there. Another one that I worked on is Final HAED, Heaven Earth Designs. This one I'm doing for my dad. It's a Bob Byerly. I'm doing this on a 28 count. When I do my Heaven and Earth designs, I like my 28 count Lugana. Even weave works much better for me when you're doing 1/1. It's just my preference. And I go with white because why am I going to spend a fortune on something that I'm covering up? So I've managed to get a few hundred stitches in here. So this little guy here now has a face. Last time you saw him, this was mostly not stitched. So I come down in stripes and I do park as well. So yeah, I've nearly finished this stripe. And what I do is when I stripe, and this stops it from getting that railroad thing that you see sometimes. When I stitch across in that floss. I'm stopping here because I ran out of page. I don't want to scroll too far with pattern keeper. So that was where I elected to stop. Those rows actually still carry on, but I tend to go across till that stitch stops, and then it actually like merges in like a zip, and you don't get that, well, I don't get that railroad thing. Whereas when I come straight down in 10 by 10 blocks, I find that I just end up with 10 by 10 blocks when you step back, and I can't get those to leave, especially when you're talking about something like this. This is very confetti heavy. So if I was to do 10 by 10 blocks, it would be very definitively with my tension style when I stitch. It would be a very definitive 10 by 10 block. So I try not to do that. So yeah, that's where I got to with that. Autumn Lane Stitchery, Dark Queen of the Seas. We all seen it, we all love her. With them releasing the new one, I thought, crikey, really should get the other one finished. Now, I let my husband choose the face and the augmentation of her front bits. So, hopefully you're not prudish, but I have done a little bit of a workaround to not upset Flosstube and not get censored. So I've been working on her quite a bit recently because I would like to get her finished. She is beautiful. So I'm doing her hair in the green, and I'm actually up to her hair at the moment. I have done her face and her chest. And that's where I've gotten to now. I have actually managed to put in several thousand stitches in the last couple of weeks on her, so I've been working on her quite a bit. Yeah, so I'm hoping to get her finished fairly soon. I have bought the pattern for the new one, which looks like it could be quite amazing. I'm really torn on what colour fabric to go with. Originally, I really thought I was going to go the nightshade, but I'm having a bit of trouble purchasing as, and it's across the board, and I'll get into that a little bit more later on because it's not the only thing I'm having problems with. But UPS is really hit and miss as to whether or not they'll deliver to New Zealand at the moment, and they've turned a few things around. And when I go into purchase from Under the Sea Fabrics, because I want to get the embellishment packs as well, I find that I get to the address part and it says address doesn't exist, or cannot find for address. So I think UPS has stopped shipping again, and it's really funny because my stuff from 123 Stitch still arrives, but from anything else, no, it gets turned around and sent back. My BNS stuff is coming through a different courier at the moment. It's costing us a little bit more, but that's fine. The girls there have been absolutely amazing and helpful in making sure that I get this stuff, but it's still taking 2-3 months. It's not a complaint. It is what it is. That's what you get for living in paradise. Paradise being on the other side of the world. Yeah, so I'm having a bit of trouble getting the fabric. So I've managed to that's given me too much time to think. And now I'm wondering if the dark might be too dark for me, especially because of a couple of the other projects with like the cryptid SAL. I did that on a green, the nightshade being a very darkish green, with the dark queen being more subtler tones, because she'll probably end up in the same room or rotated or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out as I go along. So now I've had too much time to think about it. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do there, but I'm thinking I might have to have a look at some fabrics a little bit closer to home, like Colour Cascade, Fox and Rabbit, and I might actually bring in 2 colour variants that are similar to what Under the Sea is doing, and that way I can actually get started. I can catch up with the embellishment packs and the specialty threads at a later date, possibly when I can get that sort of thing sorted. Because eventually it will come right. It does come right. It goes wrong again, then it comes right again, then it goes wrong again, and it's just the way of the world at the moment. So the workaround for me might be to find a similar fabric. I've got a few neutrals, so I might have a look at some neutrals. I might bring in a green. I'll always end up using it somewhere else anyway. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. So now we're on to new starts, because I had a few of them as well. Oh, hang on. No, we're not. Sorry, not new starts. Still going. Okay, these are the zippered ones. Those are the ones that I'm stitching on that were out. These are the zipper ones. So, Frogwarts, which the retreat is next weekend. So I managed to get my first band done. This was the reason one of the reasons I wound so far behind while I was off with COVID. This is predominantly what I stitched. I did this in about 10 days. And that's with snoozing and sneezing and coughing and all the rest of the drama. So yeah, I got it finished in about 10 days. I've been waiting for the second one to turn up. It's not turned up yet. So I'm going to have to, but I've managed to get, everybody's had the option of getting the digital pattern, which I've done. So that's arrived. So Athena has assured me that if I use the original pattern and do the counting, it will work for, so I'm just gonna have to be very careful. I'm actually gonna run a line, which I don't usually do, to make sure, because it's a lot of stitches to come down, and then hope for the best. And then I will start that hopefully this weekend. I want to get onto that one. Now this one here, I might need your help with. I started it, didn't get very far. I've put it down because I'm not happy with the bottle, but this is Urban Stitches That Which Does Not Kill Us SAL, which is a blackwork SAL. It's absolutely stunning. It's a bunch of bottles and things, and that's where I've gotten to, and I'm happy with the stitching right up until I get to that. I don't like it. It annoys me. And I've put it down to think about it. And I've thought about it and I thought about it. And I'm going to go to a darker one, I think. I think I'm just going to take it to a darker brown. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. Yeah, I'm not 100% happy with the way it looks. I don't think it stands out enough. So I think I will go back and actually change the colour of that, because it's annoying me quite substantially. Then this is another SAL. Honestly, I am the queen of the mystery SAL. I do all the mystery SALs. It's just ridiculous how many mystery SALs I do. So yeah, this one here I picked up the same week that they brought out the final one last year, the final pattern, which is the Lakeside Needlecraft Halloween candlestick SAL. And I've been working on the middle bit using their called for fabric. They do awesome fabrics. This one is pumpkin and 32 count even weave. Yep, she's up the right way. Whoops, nope, she's not. Let's put her up the right way. So I've done the candlestick mostly, and I've just started working on the head of the little monster thing down in the corner. So that's where I've gotten with that. Again, trying to get it done because I've got so many of those going at the moment. It borderlines on ridiculous. Final whip. Now, this one is nearly finished. And I bought her at the same time as I bought even Nora. And this is Nora Corbett's Witching Hour. And I love, 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 love her. We're very, very close to a finish on this one. So the only thing with her is I've done her on an antique white, the same colour that I did the original even Nora on. And you can't really see. Oh, there we go. The little owl doesn't stick out so much. So I'm actually going to give him a little bit more back stitch, but I'll go with a quieter colour on that one. So yeah, I've got all the bits and bobs in there for that. And yeah, we're nearly finished with her, so she should be finished within the next month anyway. Okay, so now I've finished with those. So now we're on to new starts. Gosh, busy. Right, so this one was a start that I made in the middle of the Stars Hollow retreat, the Gilmore Girls retreat, and the call for on that one was something with the word scare in it. I had absolutely nothing with the word scare in it, so I went and got the witchy stitches. She had a Vincent Price quote, which is very cool. So I made a start on that one, and I am stitching this on, that's right, yeah. This is a Stitching Ferret 32 count even weave, and 32, might be a 28, I think it's a 32, pretty sure it was 32, I've got it written down somewhere. So yeah, it was a 32 count even weave in Space Invader fabric. It's very cool, honestly. Sophie does amazing fabric. So yeah, that was my start on that one. This one was a start due to the BNS prompts. I had to stitch on something with dessert in it. I don't have anything with dessert in it. So I actually grabbed this one off of, which one was it? The Just Cross Stitch Halloween 2020 book. So yeah, a candy a day. And I started stitching this one on, I did it 1/2. Again, this is just a scrap of fabric that I had left over from something. I was doing this 1/2, sorry, 2/2, and I didn't like it. It was too big. And I actually, like I said before, I'm wanting to start up a smalls collection, journals. I'll show you soon. And so I went back, ripped it out and redid it, and I'm stitching it 1/1. It's coming out really cool. Really happy with that one. Then we come to this one. This one was again a BNS prompt, and the prompt for this was stitch on something with a snail. I went through all my stuff, couldn't find anything with a snail. Went through like all my bookshelf ones, my Heaven and Earth bookshelves. Nobody had a snail. I've got a couple with sort of gardens in, didn't have a snail. I looked through all these things with a snail. Now you're not going to believe it. After I started this one, and I actually like what I'm doing, it's actually really cool. But after I started this one, I found I picked it up about 3 or 4 years ago, which is probably why I forgot about it. It might even be 10 years ago. The Good Omens, Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman book, Good Omens. There's a lullaby that they sing in it, and I have a quote for it. It's got a tree up the side and it's got snails across the bottom, and if I'd have realised, I'd have stitched on that. But I found this instead, and it's from the Awesome Pattern Studio. I got it off Etsy, and it's Mandala Snail, and I'm stitching that on, I've just thrown that on the ground. That was a really dumb plan. I now have to pick it up off the floor later. Lakeside Needlecraft, and this is their is the part of their Fabric of the Month Club, and this is Opal. It came a few months ago, and that's how far I've gotten on it. When I do the challenge cards, I do 500 stitches for the challenge card, and I also used that one for a couple of the prompts in the Stars Hollow Retreat. This one here, again, this was to stitch on something with a sampler, and I've been wanting to start this one for ages. I had it ready to go. So I managed to get started on this one. The prompt was to stitch on a sampler, although I've got lots of samplers in pattern form, but I hadn't actually started any, so I took the opportunity to actually start this one, and it's Rosina Desseries, God, get the girl's real name right. Yeah, Rosina Desseries, her 1820 sampler, and I made a start on that. This is on a Fortnight fabric. Actually, I'll find the, I'm not sure, because this one is an important piece, and I have been wanting to do it. This one was called Sea of Fog. It's their fabric, Fortnight Fabrics, Fabric of the Month. And I just made a little start. But a start is a start is a start. And I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with the fabric choice. I don't know. The sun's actually come out instead of raining. Probably would have worked better if it stayed raining. But this Sea of Fog is like a peach colour or an apricot-y colour. And it's got a lot of blue in it as well. And it's just a stunning colour. And I think it's going to work so well with this. The colours just seem to be popping off of it. I'm just really happy with it. So that's that one. Right. Last one. Last one I'm showing you anyway. I've worked on just about everything else I have, but it's where are we going to end up? Honestly, where are we going to end up? So this one here was one of the first prompts that they did, and for the retreat, should clarify, and it was stitch on something with red shoes. Again, I have nothing with red shoes. It's not a path that I thought I would go down. So I did this one. I found this one online. It's called No Place Like Home by Happy Mood Point, which again was on Etsy. And I like this one because it kind of looks like an old school tattoo. So that makes me happy. And I stitched this, I'm stitching this one on a 40 count Fortnight fabric, no name. It was one I picked up off of their, sorry, distracting myself again. I picked it up off of their, they do auctions every week. So, and I managed to pick this one up off of one of their auctions. So that's as far as I got with that. And that is the end of that. Right. Okay. So that's all the stitching. Now we go to whip. No, we don't. We've done the whips. We did that. Now we go to haul. Now, this is going to get messy, y'all. I have more coming, but this is where I'm at the moment. So I finally bit the bug, got bitten by the bug, and got into, sorry, I'm trying to organise myself here very, very poorly, I might add. Yeah, drink. I just got a text from the builder saying he's just running a smidge late. That's good, because so am I. So I finally got into Glendon, the Sleepy Hollow Glendon place. Everybody's was doing it last year, and I looked at it and I looked at it and I looked at it, and I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to do it, but now I'm doing it. So there you go. That's it. Now the fabric I ordered, I've got one coming that is actually finally on its way, that from Glendon Place, that I ordered in March, and it finally left the States last week. And the reason it left the States last week was because the called for fabric, which I have actually ordered, was it was a Picture This Plus fabric called Eek, and it's been unavailable for that long, and I have been waiting for it, and it was driving me batty because I really want to start the pattern. I'll show you when it gets here. It's not here yet, so we'll leave it till next time. But yeah, this one called for another Picture This Plus fabric in Haunted. And I didn't want to have to wait that long. I wanted to get all the things, and just, I like to have all the things. I like to be ready to go. I like to be able to do the thing when I want to do the thing. I'm not a very patient person. So I've pulled my Colour Cascade Stormbringer, and I used it on something else this year. Oh, it's got some goop on it. That's okay. We won't use that side. So yeah, that's it there. And I think it's going to work just as well. I think it will work very, very well. And I measured it. It's definitely going to fit on there. So I got that. And of course, I got all the beads and the specialty threads while I'm at it, because why would you not? So the beads all bundled up. There's cute little beads. I've got my Krynex and my water lily. She's beautiful, absolutely stunning water lily, that one. So she's ready to go. She is literally ready to go. I could start that one today if I so chose to. She didn't have any snails on her. She didn't have the word scare in her. Damn it. The next thing I did was I ordered the pair of them. Mirabilia Royal Queens. Okay, so this is the second one. I don't have the fabric for these guys yet. I'm just going to use a white linen because there is so much colour in them. Yeah, trying to pull things up. Yeah, there is so much colour in them that I actually want the colour to actually pop, and I'm going to probably use them as headboards for my bed. So I'm going to try and get them framed exactly the same side by side, and yeah, so those are the Krynex. There's a lot of beads in this baby. So yeah, those are the ones that I've potted up. The rest of them I already have pots for, but I'm using them on other projects at the moment. So I'm getting so much glare off these. I'm sorry guys, kind of get the gist. Oops, that's if you can actually see, eh guys? Lots of red and black on these. These ones are giant, but I'm using them on the one that I'm doing at the moment, the Nora Corbett that I'm actually doing at the moment. So I'll put those ones in the thing once I've finished with Witchy. Oop, get in there. This is the second one. Well, this is actually the first one. I don't know which way up I like better on this one. So we could go that way, or we could go that way, that way. Lots of these. There's no actual specialty threads in this one. Oh, hang on, there is one. I tell lies. Not often. This one's got a lot of colour variation that the other one didn't, so that's the Krynex for this one. And we've got a lot of, like, that's a pastel pink. Try and block that glare before it rains. That's kind of orangey. And then we've got like a purple, a deep dark purple. It's actually a really cool colour. Another pinkyish colour. Nope, that didn't work either. We've got like a turquoisey blue glass. Go to a gold. Throw things around. Periwinkle blue style. Then we go to the darks again. And bog standard 2014 black. They're on everything, those ones. I don't think there's a thing that I'm stitching that they're not in. Sorry, if there's a bead attached. Right, let's get those babies into this one. Sorry if you've got headphones on. And last but not least, now, this baby here. Right, drink. What do you all think of my cup? My daughter bought it for me. Okay. I ordered this in June last year. She arrived this week. This is due to the shortages on all the specialty stitches and stuff. So I'm about to start my first chatelaine. I have 2 more coming. They are still being kitted. The 2 I ordered, I actually ordered in December, so they're probably a little way off yet. They're both Halloween themed. But this one here, I have been wanting to do, and I've hummed and hard and hummed and hard and hummed and hard about doing this one because of how expensive this one is to kit up. It's called Sparkling Pink Peacock Mandala. And this is my specialty threads. Look at all those specialty threads. I had to sell one of my children for this. I didn't, but I considered it. I've often told them I was going to spell them. I've often told them I was going to sell them for spare parts because I'd get more for them on eBay. But yeah, look at all those colours. Look at those greens and those blues and all the sparklies. Oh, the sparklies. I'm not going to go through every single one for you because that would be ridiculous. I'm again doing this one on a straight white linen, 28 count, because I want the all those threads and stuff to speak for themselves. So yeah, let's see if we can find that sweet spot that we had before. Nope, not really. But yeah, these are all the beads that came with. You can see why it took so long to put together, because you haven't been able to get half of those threads for so long. I'm itching to start this, but I don't want to be tired when I do it. Hence the delay in me doing it. I won't be doing it during the retreat because this one, honestly, I could buy a small family car for what I spent on this stuff. I don't know if you can see that one. Yeah, that one's not really showing up. It's more green than blue. It's showing more blue than green. These are funky. And then those big ones. So yeah, that's my special. Further from there, right, where are we at? Okay, so I've got a few patterns that have arrived as well. So Bendy Stitchy, 1844 Ladyman. Don't know when I'll stitch it, but I'm definitely stitching it. That one makes me lol so hard. This one just arrived in my BNS box. My May BNS box arrived 2 days ago. My June one arrived today. Postage. So that is the Autumn Lane. What's this one called? Siren of the Sea. That was the exclusive one for the BNS Mermaids box. This one, BNS is so good to me. Athena got me these at, not StitchCon, the market, Nashville markets. She got me two. So she got me this one, which I'll probably stitch it, Beauty and the Beast. This is the one I really wanted though. As soon as I saw it, I had to have it. Serena Sprout. I want it for my kitchen. So that's all my patterns. Now I've got some more threads. So I've got these threads that are arrived. These threads actually go with the pattern that is arriving, that I've been waiting for from 123 Stitch. So I'm not going to tell you any more about that. And then I've got, these have arrived, my classic Colourworks. These are actually for a stitch along that's coming up soon. Oh yeah, that's right, there is actually a couple more patterns. I'm so easily distracted. So I've got classic Colourworks Blackbird and oops, oh, I can't even say that, it's too early in the morning. So that's a Weeks That I Works one. So they are actually for patterns that are over here somewhere. Yes. So they go in this luminous fiber art stitch along. Can't remember what it's called. It's terrible. I'll put the link below anyway. So yeah, that one has those two colours in it. So I'm quite excited about doing that one. Just the frame of that one has come out so far. I haven't started stitching it yet. And the other one that I am doing, honestly, I really am the queen of all the stitch alongs, is that one, which is, God, I can't remember who put that one out either, but it's called Crystal Ball anyway, Crystal Ball SAL. And again, it's a Halloween one. And part one's just come out. Again, I'll put the link below. And I've just remembered there's one more. God, completely disorganized. I'll show you that one in a second anyway. So yeah, then we go to my Fabric of the Month clubs. What's come in? This is Lakeside Needlecrafts Carnelian. Don't ask me what month these came in. I've just put them all in the drawer to show you guys. Then we have this one. Sorry for the crinkles. I love the sound of the crinkles. I know not everybody does. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but I love a good crinkle. So yeah, this is my Fabric of the Month Club from Fortnite Fabrics. This one was Sandy Waters. This is before UPS shut me off. And I love the colour of this. It's stunning. Peaches and purples. She's so pretty. You should see all the crap that I got on the floor at the moment. It looks like a bomb dropped, honestly. I'm going to take a photo and actually pop it in here when I'm done. And you can see what I mean. There's stuff's everywhere. I don't put it back in the baggy bag, then I'll lose it. It's important to stay with the baggy bag. This one I'm not going to take out. This one actually came from Bestitch Me, gunmetal, and it was in the steampunk black needle box. She is a lovely colour. Then there's this one, which again was my two of the ones that I had actually in my Whip Parade were actually Fabric of the Month clubs that you guys hadn't seen either. But this is the Lakeside. This one's Lakeside Needlecrafts, and this one was called Rose Quartz. These guys are printed. I do it on. I get the 32 count even weave. They're really lovely to stitch on. I actually was a little concerned when I first signed up for this, but they're stunning. This is another one of hers. There's Lakeside Needlecraft, and this one's Diamond. This is going to glare. I can see that already because of the colour of it. Let's see if I can get it to not glare. I don't. Oh, that's better. Yeah, so it's lots of blues and diamondy looking shapes. Very cool. Now, okay, that one that I ran off and got a second ago because I put them over there like a womble. Of course, anybody that knows me, anybody that's seen any of my other videos knows damn well I can't resist a witchy stitcher. So, of course, I'm doing Supernatural. Now, after doing Cryptid on Envy, I wanted something to be in keeping with that because it's actually the sister piece to go with that. I haven't started stitching on it yet. I bought this piece of fabric because I saw it on a Flosstube and I went, I have to have that. So I ordered it, it arrived. The Witchy Stitcher released Supernatural the day after this arrived, and it was kismet. So this is, oh God, who is it? Picture This Plus, and it's called Monster Mash. Check her out. It is gonna look amazing. So that's what I'm stitching it on. I'm very excited. I'm gonna start that this weekend. All right. Okay, that leads us to final things because I'm running out of time and I'm running out of coffee. The bit that I started to talk about before. I am going to start smalls journaling. There's a lot of smalls out there and I've never known quite what to do with them. I'm not really the type to have them on little like hoopy things all over the house and like little random pillows everywhere. I wouldn't mind a couple of random pillows, but not little pillows everywhere. So I see these little things and I'm like, be cool, but what am I going to do with it? So I've actually bought, I've been watching a lot of Michelle Bendy Stitchy recently, especially when I was sick. And she has the most amazing smalls journals. So I got in touch with her and asked her where she got them from, and she gets them from a woman named Angela Drake. You can find her on Instagram, and she makes journals and sells them on there every so often. So if you get in touch with her, you can get some journals, and they're absolutely, honestly, gobsmackingly stunning. I've got two of these ones. And these ones, I've got two of this, which are pretty much identical. She does, like, the pages are just, and they come with little, she sends them with little bits and bobs in there as well, which I've popped to one side because I didn't want to lose them. But they're just, honestly, they're just stunning. The reason I got 2 of these plain ones is I want one to be for Christmas and one to be for Halloween, and I will actually bring them out when at those times and display them as a part of the Christmas Halloween displays. New Zealand doesn't really do Halloween, but I do. So I'm doing me, and I'm doing me my way. This one here is going to be the everyday one. So the Halloween, the Monster Candy small that I'm doing at the moment is going to go into that one. That's me indicating over there to where I've just put it. And this one is going to be the everyday one that I am not going to muck with the cover on. That one and the other one will have Christmas stuff and Halloween stuff depending on which one we're talking about on the cover. Whereas this one I'm actually going to leave as is. And this one, honestly, if you could just see how beautiful these are, they are well worth the money. They're not the cheapest thing in the world you're ever going to buy, but she does such a beautiful job. Honestly, the pages and the work. Just, I haven't put anything in them yet, obviously. But yeah, so those are going to be the journals. I also have, and again, Michelle put me onto this, I've actually picked up a artist pad in black paper that I'm going to use for slightly bigger ones. I think there's the heat pump, not the builder. So yeah, and finally, because I'm preparing to do this, I've been collecting stickers and things as I see them as I go along. Like I said, I'm not going to show you everything that I did, but I picked these up off of Amazon, the Alice in Wonderland book, because I am an Alice in Wonderland idiot. These are just books, but they are designed for this sort of journaling experience, and you just cut out what you need and paste it in as you need to. Like a lot of these will be used on bigger pages, but you've also got like tags and stuff. And I also picked up the vintage Halloween one. That's the back. The back's pretty cool. You do have to cut them out. You have to be careful, all that sort of stuff. But I bought them for a purpose and a reason. And they're just so cool. So, yeah. Plans, thoughts, and carry-ons. Crips, we're in now. I'm sorry, guys. Why did I never this long? This is ridiculous. Yeah, so plans, thoughts, and moving forwards. I've still got a couple more things to carry on with, as in I haven't quite caught up on my Bare Nest challenge cards yet. So today I'm going to put 500 stitches into Dark Queen, because the call for on that is bones, something with bones. So she's going to be holding a skull in my version. I picked the hair colour and the skull. My husband picked boobs out and the pointy face. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do my 25/7 and get that done, which is Warm My Heart, and then continue onward and upwards. And I want to get started on my both my Frogwarts Band 3. I want to get that set up so it's ready to go, because there's points attached to that if I get it finished during the retreat. And I also want to get started on the Witchy Stitch SAL. So first and foremost, I'm going to have to clean up this mess. But yeah, so hope you're all doing great. Hope this wasn't too long or too boring, and I wasn't too scattered for you all. So yeah, look forward to seeing you all soon. Like and subscribe and leave all your comments below. Yeah, have a great day, and I'll see you in a few weeks. Bye.